Kelly File exclusive for you now. A powerful Republican senator is today getting national attention after filing a lawsuit to stop what he calls a double standard in the health care law. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson joins us now. So, Senator, you're getting pushback from your fellow Wisconsin lawmakers, including on the Republican side, in addition to Harry Reid and others who are calling this a political stunt. What exactly are you suing over?
Well, Megan, well, listen, this suit is about overturning a very unfair ruling by the Office of Personnel Management that gives special treatment to members of Congress when they get their coverage through the exchange. They actually get pre-tax, tax advantage employer contribution. No other American gets that same special treatment. So it's a matter of basic fairness. It's also a matter of standing up, ensuring that we actually enforce the rule of law, because let's face it, this president across the board is pretty well just ignoring his constitutional duty, his oath of office, to faithfully execute the law. So if you don't like the law, fine, I don't like the law. You have to come to Congress and you actually have to change the law. You have to pass a new law. That's the way our republic is supposed to work.
So Obamacare requires people, certain people, to go to the exchanges and get coverage. And it says that Congress and members of your staffs have to go to the exchanges and get coverage. But they were getting coverage from the federal government before Obamacare because they're federal employees.
Yeah.
And so but it says under Obamacare they're going to get subsidies paid for by the feds. And you say that's a double standard because not everybody automatically gets a subsidy. In a nutshell, is that it? I mean, that's broad, but is that it?
Yeah, it is, because, again, the next wave of cancellations are going to be Americans with employer-sponsored care. That's pre-tax advantage, okay? And so when they lose their coverage, they're going to have to go to the exchange.
And they're not going to get a subsidy.
Have to pay for with after-tax dollars. Members of Congress, we get pre-tax dollars. That's unfair. And
remember, let me jump in and ask you this.
Sure.
Okay, so I guess you're trying to level the playing field and say Congress is going to have to play by the exact same rules as the American public. But here's my question for you, because typically when Congress objects to something the president does, and he's done many things that Congress has objected to with Obamacare. I mean, just sort of, he's been accused of thinking he's a king, right? Just like, I'm just going to rewrite it with this. What you guys have the power to do is deprive him of money or seek to have him impeached. Those are really your two remedies normally under the Constitution. Not so much to file lawsuits and go in and try to put the problem on a judge's lap, because who enforces the judge's ruling if it comes down against President Obama? The executive branch.
Well, but Megan, let's face it, we've tried the legislative route. Hasn't worked very well. And so we've kind of exhausted our legislative attempts to try and effect change. And right now, from my standpoint, I think this is a very important issue. Remember, Democrats, when they were passing this law, the American public was pretty skeptical. So they made this big show that they were happy to participate fully in Obamacare. Get their health care through the exchanges, certainly comply with all the rules and regulations. They were happy to do that until 0 hour, and all of a sudden they're faced with the reality situation. So the only way they're going to start changing this law, the only way they're going to start repairing and limiting the damage is if they feel the full, harsh realities of the law. And that's another thing this lawsuit would actually accomplish if we're successful. And I think we've got a pretty good chance at it.
All right, my last question to you is, you've got Jim Sensenbrenner, Republican from Wisconsin, coming out and calling this an unfortunate political stunt. It's politically motivated. It's likely frivolous. It will not achieve the result you're seeking, and saying that this is nothing more than a standard benefit that most private and all federal employees receive, including the president.
Well, it's not a stunt. It's not frivolous. It's not trivial. This is an important issue that needs to be debated in public. It deserves its day in court. And, again, it's disappointing. I respect Congressman Sensenbrenner. We agree on most things. We totally disagree on this thing. And by the way, all Republican members of Congress, except for two, voted for provisions that would do the exact same thing that my lawsuit would do if it's successful. So I'm a little puzzled, disappointed in Congressman Sensenbrenner's reaction to this, but I'm sure we'll get along in the future.
Senator, good to see you.
Good to see you.